Hello, Feveritos, and welcome to another episode of Dance Mommy Vlog. It's been a few weeks since I made a video, and definitely a while since I made a video with that guy.
Hello.
Say hi to Gooch, everybody. Oh. Okay, so today we are going to start a new top 10 list series of Walt Disney World. Yes, please go. By all means, put your hat on because I'm getting ready to put some on as well. We're going to do our top 10 favorite things about each park in Walt Disney World, and I think we're going to do one about Disney Springs as well. So it can be
Because you know it's gangster when you have it leaning
well,
to the side.
yeah. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. So yeah, we're going to. It can be a ride. It can be a show. It can be just an attraction. Anything. I guess I should keep my list secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. So he doesn't see, because I don't know what his says, and he really doesn't know what mine says. He put his on his phone. He's all techie. I wrote mine out on a piece of paper. I guess I'm old school. But before we get started with the list, I want to give a few shout outs. First of all, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post a picture of me with these new amazing ears that were done by the Mickey and Mandy Etsy shop. Go by and check them out. They have the most awesome homemade Disney items. My first item that I got is Darth Vader mini ears. Do these rock or what? Oh my god. These are so awesome. I'm getting geared up for the trip in December, can you tell? And my villain ears, oh yeah, themom.com.org.edu. It's got, there is Maleficent, that's the woman right there. And that is the evil queen. And then,
Hold on, flip it around.
Yeah, when you look on the back.
Or it could be the front, depending.
Well, the bows on the front. Yeah. And then you have Cruella and Ursula. They just happen to be my 4 favorite Disney villains, unless you count Darth Vader, in which case I'm covered. But go check them out, seriously. That's Mickey and Mandy's Etsy shop. This just rocks. So yeah, they great work. She actually sends them in these quart-sized bags, and so which are very handy to take with you on your trip to Disney World. So, boom. But Mickey and Mandy Etsy shop, big thumbs up. I also want to give shout out to fellow YouTubers and Twitterites, I guess is what you call us. Tweeters.
Twitterites. Twitterites.
Yeah. But Magical Moments, the Watson family are amazing, wonderful people. And One Mouse, One Dream. They have been so supportive of me and my channel, and just in general. That go check out their channels. They are sweet, wonderful people. I love watching other people in their.
They just look like they have fun. So
exactly, and that's what we do. We have fun.
And if you're not about having fun, and you know what, I'm just gonna say this: whoever is out there that doesn't like the video,
they did several of them.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to like the video, but I'm sorry you're so angry. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, seriously.
How can you not like something about Disney?
Well, even that. Why do you go around? Why do you go around trolling YouTube just to dislike videos? Well, I think they should get rid of the dislike button anyway. I think it's just ridiculous.
If you dislike something that's about Disney, you just must be angry and miserable and feel terrible about yourself. So you have to try to make someone else feel terrible, so you're not alone in your misery.
But they don't make me. But they don't make me feel miserable. It just makes me. I guess I should explain. What happened was, at the same time, someone went on several of my other Disney videos where we're talking about Disney and disliked the video, and it happened at the same time. I know it's the same person, and like he said, if you don't like the videos, okay, fine. But
no big deal.
But come on, lighten the hell up. Go get a life, and try to find some happiness for yourself.
I'm just sorry that you're so angry and unhappy, because we're not, and you didn't change that. So.
And you know what? Guess what? It's a YP,
not an MP.
Yeah, not an MP
or a UP in this case.
Yeah. A UP.
Or OP, our problem.
Yeah, OP.
Whatever. I don't know my alphabet today. It's Saturday.
It's a YP, not an OP.
Yes. So.
Bye-bye. But anyway. The two of them in particular have been very supportive in this whole thing, and the Watson family in particular, they have just, which is Magical Moments, they're just so sweet, and I love their channel, and One Mouse, One Dream. I thought I was an uber Disney planner, especially when it comes to like packing and everything. If you go watch her packing tip video, she taught me several things that I would have never thought about. They are great. I mean, so go check out their channels. And one more shout out, a channel that I also love and a website that I love, Yoho Disney. The Craig family. It's Charity and Matt Craig. I think it's Matt. Matt Craig. They have some great videos. They have DIY videos of crafts. I'm definitely going to try, especially
DIY.
Do it yourself.
DIY. You said DIY.
Oh, DIY. do your.
Never mind.
Shut up. So DIY. Especially the shirt idea with the coloring, getting the kid to color a Mickey head and then iron it onto the shirt. What a fantastic idea. And they also, for the parents, have got some great Disney cocktails. We're definitely going to try those. So definitely go check out their website, their blog, and their video. They are also on Instagram and Twitter as well. And they also have a Facebook page. So go check them out. I'm still trying to figure this way with the camera. Oh, I guess that may have offended that troll too. Sorry. Okay, here, let's do. Boom. Yeah. All right. Anyway. So the reason we're making the video, once again, we got sidetracked. Oh, I know. There is. Shut up. There is one other thing. We are at 181 days until our trip. So you know what that means for tomorrow.
Dining reservations.
We're getting up at the butt crack of dawn to get our dining reservations, and what we are doing this time, baby. Divide and conquer. That's right. So what I did was I took our choices. It's probably hard to.
She split the list up.
I split
so that she can do half and I do half.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the app on his.
Well, we'll pull the iPad out and we'll pull the phone out and we'll.
Yeah. So
or on a computer or whatever.
Yeah. So he's going to sign on under my account on one thing. I'm going to get on the other.
Don't give him our secrets. Oh,
people give away secrets all the time. And so
but if you're going when we are, sorry to interrupt, then don't take our secret tomorrow.
No. So basically, I had already mapped out the meals we're going to do for the week, and I'm going to have to do an updated video because there's been some changes. Imagine that. So basically, I took because we are in the deluxe dining plan. I took our choices with the date and the times. Let's see. The restaurant, the resort, or the park that it's in, the date we're wanting to do it, and then, where is it? The time that we're wanting, and I split it up into two lists. So he's got his list to conquer, and I've got mine to conquer. So, and then I got a call at 7 o'clock for Bippity Boppity Boutique. So, anyway. Now, let's get to this is the list. This, like I said, this is our top 10 favorite things about each park. And so
Which park are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about the Mac Daddy, the OG
If you think
Walt
of
Disney
Disney
World's
World,
parks. Yes. Magic
Kingdom.
Kingdom. So, and there's so much in every single park. And it's hard to narrow down a list. I've seen people do top fives. I can't do that because I would have like 25 honorable mentions. So that's why I do. So basically what I did is I'm doing my top 10 and then I'll do like a couple honorable mentions. So if you've got some honorable mentions after your list.
Perhaps.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right. So to start the list, my number 10 is Dumbo. I really love the enhancements that they have done with that since they moved it into the new Fantasyland area. I love the queue line. That's a great idea of keeping kids distracted while they're waiting in line. They did a great job with the queue line. And then the little area, you have two sides. You have two different Dumbos you can ride now, which cuts down on wait time. And I love like the little waterfall thing that they have with it now. And it also offers, especially if you ride it at night, it gives you a great like rotating view of Cinderella Castle. And I think we actually rode it when they were doing the first year that we rode it. We had a view of Wishes. They were actually doing Wishes.
Yeah, and it was at night.
It was at night.
We decided to get some rides in while Wishes was going on.
Yes,
without crowds.
Yes, and it was thrilling to have the fireworks going off while we're up there. We actually rode it twice in a row. They let us stay on and let twice in a row. That was just so
there was
super
no one
cool.
in line.
Exactly. So there's another tip right there. If you're not necessarily interested in seeing a fireworks display, or if they're having two Wishes during the night, go see the second one because it's always less crowded. And then during the first one, go ride rides. Go ride the ones you weren't able to get on during the day. That's another tip.
Yep.
So, okay, what is your number 10?
Okay, my number 10 is not a ride.
Okay.
It is a experience, or it's a dining experience.
Okay.
Cinderella's Royal Table.
Very good.
And the reason for that was the interaction that Josie had with the princesses. In particular, at the time that we went was with Jasmine.
She had a really good one with Ariel, too.
She had a really good one with Ariel, but Jasmine in particular, actually came back to her again because she just really took a liking to Josie. And, the food was okay. It's not.
It was good, but
it was good. It was okay. It's not. It's not like a Victoria and Albert's type experience.
No.
But it was okay. What you're going there for
and what you're paying 2 dining credits for
is the experience. One, you're eating inside the castle, and you meet all the princesses.
Most of them, yes.
Most of them. So, and seeing Josie enjoy the time there was pretty cool. And she still loves her princess wand that she got from there. So
she still plays with it. She'll go, hocus pocus. Look, Mommy, it's a princess wand.
My princess wand.
Yeah, so yes, absolutely.
So that's my number 10.
Yeah, actually, Jasmine, when she came back, she had her red lipstick on
and planted
a
on Josie's
big
cheek.
Old kiss on Josie's cheek, and she kept it there for the whole day. It was just so adorable. So my number 10 was Dumbo. Yours was Cinderella's Royal Table.
Yep.
Okay. All right. My number 9 is Space Mountain. And the reason why it's not higher is because I get sick as a dog on it, but I love it so freaking much. I'm willing to
get on anyway.
To get on it anyway. The last time I used to not get sick on roller coasters. Something happened to me, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago.
That's when we were at Busch Gardens.
Yeah, something just kind of clicked in me, and I don't do well with roller coasters anymore.
Yeah, we were on the Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
And she got off, and she was not feeling well.
I got so sick, and then I got on
The scrambler right after that wasn't good.
Yeah, it wasn't the wisest decision I ever made. But no, but I love Space Mountain, and not just because, woo, Ric Flair, Diamonds Are Forever. But I love the ride. I love the little enhancements that they made from the first time that I was there, because when we were there, I think for our anniversary or our honeymoon, it wasn't open. There was one time that it wasn't open. It was being refurbed.
Right.
But after
I was disappointed.
Yeah, and I couldn't ride it when we went for my birthday in 2012 because I was expecting. I was very early in the pregnancy, but I knew I was expecting and couldn't ride it. So we rode it when Josie was taking a nap. We
switched off.
We did the rider swap. That's another good tip right there. If you have a fast pass, or even if you don't have a fast pass,
they will
do a rider swap for you.
One person waits in the line, then they give a fast pass to the second.
They give a fast person to the second, so you don't have to wait in a ginormous line. So that was a good thing. But when I rode it, and now like Rock and Roller Coaster, I don't get that sick on it. And I think it's because of that rocket launch thing.
Well, it's a very smooth.
Yeah, and
coaster too. It's not herky jerky.
And Space Mountain can be very herky jerky. But I love the ride, and it's a classic ride. I mean, when you drive up to
When you drive up to Magic Kingdom, that's one of the first things you see.
When you're on the bus to Magic Kingdom, that's one of the first things you see. Although this year, we're going to be riding on the monorail.
That's right.
Polly, baby.
But anyway.
Anyway, so my number 9 is Space Mountain.
Okay. My number 9 is based around another Josie experience.
Okay.
Mickey at Town Square.
That's a great Mickey.
This particular Mickey talks and will interact with you.
Yes. And I have the video on my YouTube.
Yeah, he talks, his mouth moves, his eye, he'll does expressions with his eyes, and like they open and shut, and and I don't know if the person inside the suit is actually controlling the Mickey,
or if it's the photographer,
or if it's someone behind the scenes that we don't see.
But they're brilliant.
But the interaction that you get is personalized. It's not canned.
It's fantastic.
And it was phenomenal. And the look that little girl put on her face when she met Mickey at Town Square was like no other.
It's actually the avatar on my channel. If you go back and look at my avatar, it's that was literally the moment she saw that Mickey.
She saw that Mickey at the first time. It wasn't the first time she met Mickey, but that particular Mickey seemed to really, because he talked to her and he hugged her and he did the hot dog dance. He sang the hot dog song with her.
Yes, he did.
And that was pretty amazing. So that's my number 9.
Okay, all right, good choice. Okay, my number 8 is a relatively new one, at least for me. I had never done this one before until we went last year. Enchanted Tales with Belle. I was only really expecting to go in and Belle read you a story, because I know they used to do like an old story time with Belle. But what I really liked was how interactive it was.
She got to be in the show.
I got to be in the show. They asked for some people to sing a note to play a wardrobe, and I did my ooh thing, and I got picked to be the wardrobe. So Mommy got in the show. So I was like the coolest mommy ever to my then 2-year-old daughter. So that's awesome. But Belle does not sign but if you participate in the thing in the show, they give you a little card that's got her little autograph on it. So that's one way of getting an autograph with Belle if you miss her over at France and Epcot or anything.
Or if you don't see her at Beast Castle. Does she show up at Beast Castle?
Sometimes she does. Sometimes they show up and they
Be
dance.
Our Guest, yeah.
But they do not sign autographs. It's not a Be Our Guest dinner is not a character experience.
Yeah. Okay.
I really like what they did, where you go through and see all, the different things in Beast Castle, and then you go into the study where you're where Belle comes.
The animatronics for Lumiere was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Lumiere was fantastic. So I just really loved that experience, and because I was in the show, Josie got to come up and meet Belle. That was pretty cool. That was really cool. So so once again, my number 8 is Enchanted Tales with Belle.
My number 8 is also a new attraction.
Okay.
And for those that don't know me, I'm a little bit of a thrill junkie. I like the roller coasters, although this is... Now, I'll preface, the coasters at Disney World, in general, are not super high on the intensity level. They're not like Cedar Point or
Busch Gardens.
Or Busch Gardens, or a King's Dominion, or a Carowinds, what have you, or Six Flags even. They're made that way because they know families are coming with young kids, and they want the kids to be able to experience the rides with their parents and whatnot. It's a family thing. So that being said, the thrill level is not super high, but it's just enough, and you're there for the kids. So
right.
It's a new ride. It's the Snow White Mine Cart.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Yeah, I said it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I love the fact that it tells the story.
It tells the story. It has really great theming. Throughout the queue line, throughout the ride itself, and the coaster is pretty unique because you're like in a bucket almost. You're in a mine car, but think of it like a bucket where it swings back and forth as you're going through the turns of the coaster. And they do a video experience for you, and the pictures and all that stuff. So it's pretty neat thing they've got going on there with the new attraction. I really like that. So that's my number 8.
I agree with you. I think it's a great new ride. And I'm glad we got to do it because it wasn't open the last time we were there. Of course, I wouldn't have been able to ride it.
Well, the last time we were there was open, but the time before last it wasn't.
Yeah. This past time. I'm talking about when I was pregnant. I wouldn't have been able to ride it anyway.
They had it built, but it wasn't open yet.
I think it opened like a month later or something like that. Like we missed that, and we missed the new test track.
Yeah.
So that was your number 8.
Yes.
Very, very good choice. My number 7 is also in Fantasyland. I really love all the stuff that they have done with Fantasyland, but this is an older attraction in Fantasyland. It is Mickey's PhilharMagic. I love the fact that you can go into the theater and it tells a little story about how Donald is messing where he shouldn't be messing.
He just wanted to get the
he
hat.
He wanted the hat.
He wanted the sorcerer hat.
He wanted the sorcerer hat for just a minute. But this is Disney. Something goes horribly wrong, and he gets transported into all the different movies. And then you have Josie loves it when he does that. And you get transported into the movies, and then you get smells like when they do the Be Our Guest part. You get the apple pie like blasted in your, like the smell of it blasted in your face. When there's water, you get squirted. Kind of like It's Tough to Be a Bug. Only I think it's better than
it's very sensory driven.
That, and I think it's better than the Muppets 3D and It's Tough to Be a Bug. I think it's better than that.
I think that it is.
But it's similar to those.
The actual story that it's telling I think is better than those.
Yes.
And the characters, of course, just make it.
And I love hearing Goofy saying, "Now put on your Opry glasses."
Well, it's Goofy.
Yeah. So that I just think it's just fantastic. So my number 7 is Mickey's PhilharMagic.
All right.
Your number 7.
So my number 7 is based around a lot of nostalgia for me.
Okay.
I went to Disney World the very first time in 1977-ish.
Mm-hmm, so you were 3?
I was 3 or 4.
Okay.
And did not go back again until 30 years later.
When we were
like
it was our
honeymoon the
yeah.
first time we went back. And that was in 2011.
2011, yep. October 2011.
Yeah, October 2011. So there was a long time gap, and a lot of things changed. but some things stayed the same. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you think your kids don't remember Disney World from a young age because they haven't been back or whatever, you're wrong, because I remembered. And my number 7 is Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh, I love Country. It didn't make my list, but I love Country Bear Jamboree.
Country Bear Jamboree because I remember it from when I was a kid, and my favorite bear in the band is the one with the jug, because
is that Liver Lips? The
Liver Lips, yes.
Oh,
I always thought he was. He just made me laugh because of the way he was holding that jug and the way his lips went out there to hold it.
That band is rocking. I don't care what anyone says.
But I remember Country Bear Jamboree from when I was a little kid. I say little kid because I'm still a kid. Now I'm just a big kid.
Whenever I see it, I always go back and start singing, "Mama, don't whoop Lil Buford."
but that is a lot of nostalgia around that, and that's the reason behind it is Country Bear Jamboree, because I remember that from when I was a kid, and there's a couple things that I remember from when I was a kid too that aren't on my list. I'll just throw them out there. I remember It's a Small World, and the smells inside of It's a Small World, because it's a very distinct smell, and
the water
and the I remember the sights and sounds and everything about A Small World, and I remember Peter Pan's flight. So there were a lot of things, and that's not all. I mean, I remember Casey's Corner from when I was a kid.
That's hard to forget.
So there are just so many things that I remembered, and that it came back to me when we were like, oh, that's where this is.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I had these memories, and I was like, okay, I know I went to Disney World when I was a kid, but I didn't really place that this was where it was.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's where this is.
That's right.
So Country Bear Jamboree for my number 7.
Very good. All right, my number 6 is in Adventureland. Adventureland was the first land I ever visited at Magic Kingdom on my very first trip in October 2011. So actually, our anniversary, our honeymoon trip coincided with my 10th anniversary, the first time that I went to Walt Disney World. So Adventureland holds a lot of nostalgia for me, even though it wasn't, back in the 70s. But my number 6, and I'm glad they went back to the original, is the Enchanted Tiki Room.
I remember the Tiki Room from when I was a kid, when I first time too.
I love the Tiki Room. I love
the Tiki.
Tiki
Every time we walk up on it, we
Tiki,
see it, we
Tiki,
start
Tiki,
singing the
Tiki
song.
Room.
It's funny.
All the birds sing words and the flowers bloom in the Tiki. It's the most catchy song ever, but it's not one that gets on my nerves.
And when you want to get outside, get out of the heat,
it's a great place. Yes.
Yeah. Sit down for a minute.
But for when I first went, they had changed it from the original Tiki Room to the Tiki Room under new management, which included Iago from Aladdin and Zazu from Lion King. I am so glad they went back to the original, and I was able to see the original. I really love that, and I love the four guys, the 4 original guys, and hearing the story of the voice of their voices,
and the tikis.
The tikis on the wall, and hearing the different, the history of the room, and how when they originally opened it at original Disneyland, people went nuts because they thought those birds were really singing, because the animatronics
was new.
And even today, the animatronics in Tiki Room are pretty phenomenal, I think.
They are.
So my number 6 is the Enchanted Tiki Room. Your number 6?
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Another memory of mine from when I was a kid that I remembered and couldn't place where it was until we went back. I was like, oh, that's where this was.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Tiki Room. So my number 6 is more about experience.
Okay.
And it's that first time you walk into Main Street USA, and
I'm gonna cry.
And you smell the smells. You smell the popcorn.
Oh, my popcorn!
And you make that turn and there's the castle.
Yes.
And seeing Josie's face.
Oh my God,
when she saw the castle, because we've been telling her every time we saw a Disney movie, Josie, you see the castle? Do you want to go see the castle? And she was just like, no way, no way. And then we went and we turned that corner and she saw that castle and she started jumping up and down. It's the castle!
Castle! We're like,
she lost it.
See, Mommy and Daddy don't lie about these things.
So that experience on Main Street USA, just walking in
and
the first time.
And you know everybody has that.
Yeah.
That moment. And
it's that moment where you're like, okay, I'm in the happiest place on the planet.
Exactly, and I'll never forget mine either. In 2001, I don't wish I still had contact with those people that I went with, but I wish I had that picture that they took of me, because they took a picture of me the first time I literally went through that gate and I didn't pay any attention to what was in the gate. I ran to the front of Main Street USA so I could see that castle, and they had a picture of me where I was just like.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like sheer joy, and to actually get to experience that, was seeing that sheer joy on Josie's face for the first time. It was like the circle of life, you know. It was just, you know, I completely agree. That's a great one.
That first entering the park experience and see it, you know, making that turn and seeing the castle at the end of the street, and then the sights and sounds and smells and the cast members greeting you, and and the photographers saying, "Hey, can I take a picture?" And the mayor saying hello.
And he loves redheads apparently, because he always every time I see him, he says, "You know, my first girlfriend was a redhead." Yeah. No, that's a great one. That's something I didn't even think about. That's
my number 6.
That's a great one. Okay, so my number 5 has already been on your list. It is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
All right.
So not a whole lot to say about it, but I completely agree. The theming, and I love when you stop at the end, you're not just sitting there, because you know you have to stop for them to unload someone else at the end of the ride. Instead of just sitting there going, oh, we're baking in the sun, you can look over there and see the dancing scene from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You see them dancing together.
But it's actually covered. The queue line is covered.
The queue line is covered.
For the most part.
I think that is... the Imagineers are geniuses.
Yeah.
But
it's like you're going down into the mine.
I really love the idea of having a family coaster, even though Josie was still kind of small.
She was barely
literally, we
had
a height Nazi.
Yeah.
We had a height Nazi.
She was 2 and 2 months,
she
was barely under
it. Literally was like that.
It wasn't even that
difference.
much.
I mean, but they would not let her on.
Yeah.
But
so we did rider swap.
We did a rider swap. She decided to take a nap in the middle of the day, so
she napped and we rode.
So we did a rider swap. But Seven Dwarfs Mine Car is my number 5.
Okay. This is one that I also remembered from my first trip in 1977-ish.
Okay.
And I remember it because it scared the bejesus out of me as a 3 or 4-year-old.
I think I know what this is.
And it's evolved over the years to include new characters that have come into the fold, i.e. Captain Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones and Blackbeard. And you probably figured out by now that is Pirates of the Caribbean. Or Caribbean, or however you want to say it, but the Pirates ride. And it's, you know, it scared me when I was a kid because it was dark.
And you had the drop.
And that drop that you didn't see coming, and, you know, the scary voices and the pirates and all this. But then, you know, now I ride it and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool.
It's super awesome.
Yeah, and you got cannons going off around you and cannonballs landing in the water beside you, and you're riding through a scene in Pirates of the Caribbean.
And they always like to, whenever they do the "We want the redhead,"
we want, and I said, I've got her.
That's right.
So, Pirates of the Caribbean is my. But where are we at? 6. 1, 2, 3,
5.
4, 5. Maybe I did 11.
Oops.
No, it's my number 5. Yeah,
okay.
It's my number 5.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is something that kind of mentioned already a little bit, but it's also in Fantasyland. Fantasyland used to be my least favorite part of it, and then I had her, and now it's just like, oh my, and the enhancements that they have made to it is just amazing. But this is a tried and true original. It's
the best of the originals.
It is the best of the originals. I
shoulder,
completely agree. It is Peter Pan's Flight.
Yeah.
And there is a reason why this ride is like the longest line
It's the best one of the originals.
It's the best one of the originals.
Because you're flying.
I love the flying...
The flying Jolly Rogers.
The flying Jolly Rogers. Seeing the scenes. And I know Josie has been on a Peter Pan kick lately.
Yep.
So she liked it before. I think she's going to go absolutely nuts for it this time.
Yep.
But I love, instead of being on a track where you're riding along or you're in the water, the track is above you, and you fly through the scenes and you see the Lost Boys. You see what's the name of the Indian maiden?
It was Pocahontas.
No, it's not Pocahontas.
Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
And you see all these scenes. You see the end scene and everything. I just think it's great.
Yes.
So my number 4 is Peter Pan's Flight.
Okay. My next one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be higher on her list because I know how she feels about this one. But this is another one that I remember from when I was a kid, 1977-ish.
Okay.
And I never knew where it was, but it always stuck in my mind. And I'll tell you, the things that stuck in my mind was when you're riding through the library with the ladders on the wall.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then you go through and you see the glowing footprints on the stairways and everything. And if you haven't figured it out yet, my number 4 is Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
And the upgrades that they've done with the hitchhiking ghosts are friggin' fantastic.
They switch their heads, or they pull your head off.
But they do different things. The hitchhiking ghosts are great, but the song is catchy. You run through there, you come out, you sing along.
It's
and you
my
come out
favorite.
singing it.
It's my favorite Disney song, Disney park song of all time.
The Grim Grinning Ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah. They're here to socialize.
Come up to socialize.
Yeah. But the
bus in the graveyard,
and then the dance scene. It's
and you know what? I love what they did. They enhanced the attic scene.
Yes.
Before you get to the graveyard. I think they did a great job enhancing that with the bride.
So my number 4, which I'm sure is higher on hers, is the Haunted Mansion.
I'm not going to tell where, but it is.
I think I could probably guess.
Well,
and that's without looking at your list.
Let's not work. Okay. So my number 3 is in Adventureland. I think it's considered adventure. No, is it?
Or is it
Frontierland? It is pretty much the only place you will see a representation of the movie Song of the South. I actually got one of the Brer Rabbit, if you can't figure out what it is by now, I actually got one of the Brer Rabbit stuffed animals from the Briar Patch, which is the
shop.
The shop.
Because every ride puts you off into a shop.
Yeah, something goes horribly wrong, things turn out okay,
now
and then now buy stuff. That's a Disney ride right there.
Yeah.
So if you can't figure it out, my number 3 is Splash Mountain. I love
Splash Mountain.
I love Splash Mountain. And they stopped selling the Brer Rabbit stuffed animals. I was actually able to get one before they stopped selling it. I love the fact that it tells the story of the movie, and there's just so many things to love about it. I mean, it is a water ride. And
you can get wet if you want to.
No, it never fails. I get freaking drenched. And usually it's not
She's figured out how to dip down there.
See, and that was a hard lesson to learn. But here's the thing. I don't get wet on the thing down. It's when you're coming around that corner and people are going down and then they splash up. I catch it every single time.
You're just lucky that way.
I'm lucky that way. But I love the animatronics in it. I love the telling. And a little trivia, the guy who does the voice of Brer Rabbit in the ride is, I cannot remember his name, it's Jesse something or other, but he is the voice on Sophia the First of Cedric, the castle wizard.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also the voice of the evil king in Doc McStuffins. And he was the voice of Wacko Warner in Animaniacs, which is like one of my favorite shows of all time. So anyway, but I love everything about Splash Mountain. I think my favorite ride is the hill right before you go up for the big drop, and you've got the buzzards up there taunting you, saying, "Laughing place, eh?
Yeah.
I'll show you a laughing place." I love everything about Splash Mountain. It's my number 3.
So we actually sync up on one because Splash Mountain is also my number 3.
Boom!
As we said before, a thrill ride junkie. I love the thrill rides and the coasters, and this is kind of a thrill ride because it's got some hills to go down.
It's got one heck of a drop on it,
and it's a water ride. I like the water ride. So I mean, everything that she said, I will rubber stamp and say ditto on the Splash Mountain. My number 3 also.
Splash Mountain goodness. I'm just saying. All right, my number 2 is one that you have already mentioned, and it's already been on your list, and it's higher, obviously, for me. My number 2 is in Adventureland, and it is Pirates of the Caribbean. A lot of nostalgia for me because back in October 2001, that was the very first ride that I ever rode at Walt Disney World.
And she loves Captain Jack Sparrow.
I do love Captain Jack Sparrow. I like the enhancements they made with him, but they still kept the original things from, the Harry.
They didn't take anything out.
They didn't take out the hairy leg guy that drapes over.
They just added to. They didn't take anything out.
Yes, and of course being a redhead,
So all the original stuff is there.
All the original stuff is there. They just added to it, but it's just a classic ride. I want to go to Disneyland and ride the original one because it has 2 drops in it. From what I've heard, Kara Dowling can verify that because I think she just got back from Disneyland. Lucky. So, but anyway, Pirates of the Caribbean is my number 2 because it's just so freaking super awesome and a lot of nostalgia for me. So, your number 2?
My number 2, again, coaster junkie, thrill ride junkie. My number 2 is Big Thunder Mountain.
Oh, okay.
I like the roller coasters.
I know.
I always have. I love the roller coasters. And the first time I went to Disney World when I was a kid, Big Thunder Mountain was there. Mm-hmm. I couldn't ride it. I wasn't tall enough.
You have to be. Is that one that's
42.
Is that one 40?
I think it's 40.
It's either
42 or 44.
44.
Whatever
I thought
it was.
40.
Whatever it was. At the time, I wasn't tall enough to ride it, and I wasn't able to ride it.
Okay.
And then I finally got to ride it when I went with you. The first time.
And it's a lot of fun. The theming on it is great.
So
I agree.
Big Thunder Mountain is my number 2. Again, I'm a coaster person. I love coasters. I've always loved coasters. If they build it, I will ride it. And Big Thunder Mountain is my number 2.
Very good. All right. Moment of truth. If you haven't figured out by now, my number 1 and my number 1 in any Disney park anywhere is Haunted Mansion. And what's not to freaking love about Haunted Mansion? It's awesome. You got hitchhiking ghosts. You've got a piano that's playing by itself. You've got a dude in like a skeletal hand coffin going like this. What's not to love? The graveyard scene alone is amazing. I mean, it's just, and like you said, the song Grim Grinning Ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, you will come out singing it, and we always find a way to write it many times over.
That's normally one of the ones when If Wishes is going on where
because it's like a 5-minute wait.
If that.
And you
right
cut
on.
through, and the enhancements they also made with the queue line, with the interactive queue line is
pretty cool.
great. But you can always skip that queue line too. So anyway, but yeah, Haunted Mansion is my number 1 everything at Walt Disney World. It's just, to me, when I think of Disney World, I think of Haunted Mansion. Oh, wouldn't it be awesome to have Haunted Mansion ears? Oh, someone needs to get on that. I would totally buy that. Maybe Hitchhiking Ghost mini ears. I would totally buy those. But anyway, my number 1, Haunted Mansion.
Okay, my number 1. I've got some.
Okay.
So we have some theme music to
if it will ever start
If it will
playing.
ever start playing.
Come on.
It's gonna come. Wow.
Maybe.
See, and here it goes. And if you know anything about the relationship to this song and this ride,
Woo!
it's the oldest ride in the park, but it's always got the longest line.
Woo!
And there's a reason for that. Because diamonds are forever, and so is Space Mountain.
Woo! That's a good segue in there. I love that. Good job. Okay.
Again, Space Mountain, for sure, is by far, well, I wouldn't say by far, it's my favorite ride in the park. And the reason for it is because, again, I'm a roller coaster junkie, and it's the best coaster in Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
In my opinion. And you go in, you get into the rocket ship, and you blast off, and you are sailing through space. It's dark. You can't see where you're going. You don't know where the turns are, and
You don't know if you're going to be
you don't know if you're gonna
decapitated.
be decapitated. You don't know something, but you're riding through, and it's awesome. I mean, it's an older ride. It's been there since the park opened. Blah 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 blah
It's
blah.
still, but it's still space.
It's always got the
mountain.
longest line for a reason, because it's awesome. It's Space Mountain.
I agree. I do like Space Mountain.
So
Okay,
that's
very
my
good.
number one.
Very good. All right, so honorable mentions. We'll just kind of go through these quickly. I've got 4 listed here, but I'm just going to include 5. Honorable mention: Carousel of Progress. It's an original Walt idea.
That's one of mine too.
And I love the idea of seeing, even though the present time is starting to look very, very dated.
It's a great big
Beautiful tomorrow, shining at the end of every day.
Yeah, so okay.
That's, I mean, in that song,
Catchy song.
the song will get stuck in your head.
Plus, it's good when it's hot outside and you need to take a break and sit down.
Yes,
Air conditioning.
yes, and it gives a history lesson. I'm
Yes.
a history buff. There you go.
Yeah, that's one of my honorable mentions also, actually.
Okay. Also, very good. Another one is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. To me, it is the original. It's the kind of the
original Toy
OG
Story.
of Toy Story. Yeah.
Mania.
I would love to see them upgrade this a little bit, because it is starting to look a little dated, but especially in the light of Toy Story Midway Mania. But to me, it's still a good thing. You can get into a little friendly competition where you're like,
And you get to shoot at Zurg.
You get to shoot at Zurg. I would shoot at Zurg in a heartbeat if I. Jerk Zurg.
That's right.
Okay, so my another honorable mention of mine is Hall of Presidents, because I am a massive history buff junkie, and I love the idea of the telling of the founding of the country and using animatronics. And Walt was way ahead of his time. The conversation with Mr. Lincoln was what kind of started the idea of Hall of Presidents, and it's to this day it holds up. And also,
And they update it with each sitting president.
yes, they do. In fact, the sitting president is the one who talks.
Right.
Also, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. I think that they've done a great thing with that little ride through of telling the story. And the thing that I did not write down that is going to make my list, and he kind of touched on it a little bit, is walking through that gate at Magic Kingdom and that popcorn smell hitting your nose. I am a Walt Disney World popcorn junkie. It is scientifically proven that popcorn at Walt Disney World tastes better than anywhere else in the world.
And she loves popcorn.
I do, but this is the best popcorn in the world.
So I'm going to also throw out there, in Adventureland,
Okay.
Dole Whip.
Oh yes. And
The
we
pineapple soft serve Dole Whip is awesome. Thank you, Scott Bowman, for pointing it out to us.
I thought I had already told you about the
Well,
Dole
you did,
Whip
but
before
he's
that.
the one that really put it in my brain. Yeah, it's good. And Casey's Corner.
Oh my God, Casey's
you like
Corner
hot dogs.
The best hot dogs ever.
Casey's Corner. And
The Keys to the Kingdom tour
the
is
Keys to
great.
the Kingdom tour.
I might do a review of that one time.
Yeah, I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail about what's on the Keys of the Kingdom tour, but if you ever wonder about what goes on behind the scenes and what it takes to make the park go and what it takes to make the magic that they make, and also
The utilidors.
well, also the little Easter eggs and nods throughout Main
Yes.
Street USA.
Yes.
To
If you're a
different
history
people.
buff and you love the idea of learning about the history of Walt Disney World, do Keys of the Kingdom tour. And plus, you get lunch at Columbia Harbor House, which is a great
Yeah, it was a good lunch.
quick service restaurant.
And I'm gonna throw out there the People Movers.
Oh my God! I forgot about the People Movers. I usually try to ride it at least 3 times. I love the People Movers.
People Movers. Another place to sit down. Grab. It's a ride.
Chill out.
Chill out. Get some air conditioning. Some of it's not air conditioned, but some of it is, so you can cool off for a second.
It's covered, definitely.
It's covered. So People Movers are another honorable mention for me.
Very good. I think great list, both of us. All right, so we're going to sign off because we're at almost an hour again.
We can't do less than an hour. We talk too
But
much.
because we're and we're goofy like that.
I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
I know.
All right. So, guys, we are going to sign off, and we'll do another new video soon. I think the next top 10 that we will do is Epcot. So, start getting your list ready.
Okay.
All right, guys. Love, peace, and rock. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Love.